Welcome to Crazy for Clayton Around Town, where I'm your guide to the people, places, and experiences in Clayton, North Carolina. And today I'm here with the lovely April Stephens. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited.
Yay. So April has so many accomplishments to her name. So I want you to talk a little bit about real estate. But then I want you to phase into county commissioner and all that you do within the community. But first, I want to start with you, the person, April.
I love
it. Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Born and raised in Garner, so right outside of Clayton. Joined the military right after high school, and then after I got out of the military, went straight into real estate. Had a great opportunity with a local builder, and just loved everything about it. So going on 19 years now, and through real estate, I found a love of serving. I got a love of serving from my grandparents at an early age, but when I got into real estate, I started getting involved with the association, with the home builders, with Civitan, with different chambers, and just love having a seat at the table and having a voice. And so, about 3.5 years ago, I decided to run for county commissioner, and here we are, and absolutely love it. I love serving the people of the county that I get to work alongside with, pour into the communities that pour into my business, and it's just I love, like I said, being a servant to the community.
Well, we're appreciative because I'm glad that voice is at the table. So,
well, I appreciate that. Everybody says, like, how did you get into politics? And I'm like, I really didn't get into politics. No. I got into serving, and politics are a piece of it. So.
And then you're a mom.
I am. I have a 21-year-old daughter, so she just graduated college and moved back home, and she's working with us a little bit, so we'll see how that goes, but very excited.
And her career path is singing. Right?
She is a commercial voice major with a minor in performance. So it's so funny. I feel like I grew up as Abby's mom my whole life because she sang the national anthem. She performed all around Clayton and did all the things, and now she's home, and it's like now she's April's daughter. And so we've kind of switched roles, but it's been fun.
Awesome. All right. So tell us, you've taken your real estate firm to the next level and beyond. So tell us a little bit about that and what makes your firm so unique.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I was a broker owner. I was with a couple different firms before moving my team over to the EXP platform, and it's just been great. I love being a small fish in a big pond, and I felt like some of the changes that we were seeing, especially with COVID, and just things going more cloud-based. I remember when I first looked at it, I was like, well, I'm not doing real estate virtually, and then COVID happened, and it was like, okay, so we're doing real estate virtually, so we'll figure this out. But I really like the growth trajectory, the learning from other people. Again, I think that's why I like being a small fish in a big pond and just learning from people who've gone down paths I haven't even ventured yet.
Yep. And you can, when you meet April, you can see her giving heart, because a lot of people think, why it's, here we are sitting in HomeTowne Realty, Barry and James are here, and I'm with HomeTowne Realty, and it's like, why would Michele interview April, and a competing real estate agent? No. We're like one big team. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like if I ever had a question, of course I would go to Barry first, but if I ran into you, I mean, I would feel so comfortable just saying, hey, April, what do you think about this? I mean, she's a teacher, she's a giver, she's got the school. Yep. So talk about that for a minute.
So that is a passion project of mine. It's called The Real School. I remember when I got my license, there was no Facebook then. Right. I was trying to learn everything on a Remax Dish Network channel, to be honest. And I love absorbing as much as I can about anything that I'm interested in. And I felt like I was constantly calling the Association of Realtors or the Real Estate Commission, and it was on everything and anything. And so many realtors, I feel like, unfortunately, the way our career is built, they give us our license, but they don't really teach us what to do with it. They teach us how to stay out of real estate jail, but they don't teach us how to thrive and make sure that we're protecting our clients. So I started the Real School about 3.5 years ago as well. Just wanted to have a collaborative place, because not all offices do sales meetings like HTR does. And so many agents decide to go independent right after they can get their broker in charge license. And they end up missing out on some really important industry changes that are going on. And you see it as well as I do. Every day we're becoming more and more liable for things for our clients. And I just wanted it to be a collaborative place where people could go learn not just on how to generate leads and build a business or a company, but also how to find septic reports and know how to read soils maps and know how to discern an appraisal.
You're totally not taught that in
Yeah,
state
no,
school.
none of that, and none of the not fun stuff.
Yeah,
So I just think it's a great place. And like you said, I think the world of James and Barry and HomeTowne, and there is enough business for everybody who wants to do it for the right reasons.
That's correct. That is correct. So tell us, in the county, you're county commissioner, 3 years. What have you seen that has maybe piqued an interest in you, and what do you see coming in the future? If you can give us a little tidbit from the past and the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came in a little guns blazing. You know, I had some things that I wanted to change, and one of the things is the communication between the county, the local government, and the citizens.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much miscommunication. There's not enough communication. Everybody thinks they know what's going on, and I even thought things were done a different way than now that I've gotten inside. I understand a lot more why things are the way they are. And so it's important to me that I'm bridging the gap between government and the citizens. There shouldn't be so much red tape to understand how to do things, again, collaboratively, because the government is there to serve the citizens, but the citizens should have a voice and should have a part in the way things go. But that only happens through transparency and conversations. So, you know, there's no stranger. One of the reasons you're doing this is because Clayton is exploding, just like Johnston County is exploding. And believe it or not, there's really nothing anybody in local government can do about it. The secret's out, and the best thing we can do is try to make sure the county continues to thrive on what it was built on, you know, the traditions and the heritage that it was built on. And, you know, there's only so much of that we can do, but I will say the behind the scenes, the one thing I was pleasantly surprised about, we have by far some of the best staff and leadership that I have ever seen. Somebody who's worked in different companies, even in the military, just seeing how things are carried out and the leadership that we have has been incredible to watch. So very grateful for that. And I really want the citizens to know that the people behind the scenes truly do care. It's not just about creating more rules or stopping things or starting things. They really do care about there's a reason, and they really do care about the citizens.
Yeah, it's very easy to make a judgment call when you're not actually in there putting in the sweat equity. But once you get in there behind the scenes of anything, and you're putting that sweat equity in, sometimes your mind shifts and you're like, oh, now I really understand why.
And I can't say enough, you know, I joke, my husband and I go to the planning board meetings as date nights, and we would go to commissioner meetings as date nights, because I've just always believed if you want to have a voice, you need to sit and listen and understand how decisions are being made. And then I decided I wanted to be a part of those decisions. And so I recommend, you know, especially again, thanks to COVID, now everything's on YouTube. You can attend virtually, you know, get involved, get informed. And we are all open books, our cell phones, our emails. We want to know your concerns. We want to answer your questions regardless of where it is in the county and what's going on.
You may not always like the answer that you're going to get, but you can ask the question. And that's what is a beautiful thing about this county, Johnston County, that there's people like you that really understand the value of having an ear to the community.
Right.
So
100%.
So tell us one thing, why are you crazy for Clayton?
What is not to love about Clayton? I love the character and the charm of Clayton. I love everything that they have done as far as, you know, building a vibrant downtown community that doesn't feel like you don't belong. I feel like everybody truly, and I love that you're from up north and can attest to that, that you truly feel like you belong once you get here. And it's not just the Southern hospitality. I mean, we've become a little bit of a melting pot, but a very welcoming melting pot. And, you know, around the county, I have been able to see firsthand small towns and areas that are not thriving. Some towns don't want to thrive, and that is okay. But I feel like Clayton's done it the right way. Clayton's done it without losing its charm, and I think they've had good leadership, good guidance, and a lot of very involved community members who show up and have a voice and say, this is what we want to see and this is what we don't want to see. And luckily they've
their doors are open, but their heart, their values they're not going to change
Right.
that. And that's exactly why we were attracted to Clayton to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm so glad they didn't go that route, you know, to just say, okay, let all the big box people in, let's change the whole dynamics. That's not what's happening, and I don't foresee that happening anytime in the near future.
I don't either. You know, gentrification has a good and a negative connotation. You know, there are places that need to change and places that need to upgrade and update, but it doesn't mean that you don't still have a place for the local business owners that the backs of this town was built on, and the same thing with the community members.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will share links so that you can learn more about April Stephens, about her amazing office that she has, the school she's created. If you've got anything you want to ask her about the county, you can send her over an email. I'll have all that posted in the live feed here. And again, I'm Michele Molinaro with HomeTowne Realty, where we don't just love where we live.
We're crazy for Clayton.